I've always known from within inside of my heart and soul that you guys have always loved your favorite stars of Descendants and Zombies, and I always wanted to create something special, and I always wanted to be a part of it because of all of you. How you always held a very special place in your heart for people like Cameron Boyce. How you believed in people like Sofia, Carson, and their profound message of how kindness really does a world of good for a lot of people and takes people further in this lifetime than they ever imagined possible, because it's really true. I think the lessons that Descendants of Zombies have taught us are lessons that we've carried with us forever and always. We became the best of friends with each other over Descendants of Zombies, and we've remained friends ever since, the best of friends. And I've met some of the most wonderful people through the power of this YouTube channel, which I can never say to thank you enough to YouTube for allowing me the opportunity to become a part of so many wonderful lives. You guys will never know how much I appreciate you, because oftentimes I've been left at a loss for words for the overwhelming love and support that these videos have received, and I can never seem to say thank you to YouTube and thank you to all of you enough for allowing me the chance to become a part of all of your lives, to have entered your lives and became a part of the soundtrack of Descendants of Zombies, became the most fun that I've ever had and the greatest honor of my YouTube career. I've been on YouTube, for many of you who don't know, for over 25 years. And I've talked about a lot of different things that Disney has had happen for it. The acquisition of Marvel and Star Wars and National Geographic, and how Disney premiered Disney Plus and had all their original TV shows kind of come to life for the first time ever, so you could binge watch series like Jessie and Wizards and Hannah Montana. It was a beautiful era that Disney was kind of coming into. And this era was proudly represented by beautiful characters who still had a long way to go, who were really trying to figure out their place in the world. And it all began with a franchise back in 2015 called Descendants. And at that time, we really never knew what to make of it. But there were a lot of people who brought Descendants to life. One of them was Cameron Boyce. Cameron Boyce went on to hold a very special place in the hearts of many Descendants fans, and ultimately went on to become everybody's favorite character. And even in his passing, he's still honored to this very day. I will never forget the day that Cameron Boyce passed away. It was July 6, 2019, and that was the day our lives changed forever. Undeniably, Cameron Boyce had always held a very special place in our hearts, from shows like Jessie and Bunked, and eventually went on to become everybody's favorite Descendants character for the legacy that he always wanted to leave behind. In past interviews that Cameron Boyce always conducted, he always mentioned how he always wanted to be remembered and never ever forgotten. And he's going to get his wish because of all of you. I have never felt more honored to say such nice things about people like Cameron Boyce and Sofia Carson, because you guys have obviously held a very special place in your heart for him and many other of your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters, which I felt more than honored to be a part of these conversations with you, because you've obviously held a very special place in your heart for them. You guys are going to ensure that these stars have legacies, and that's all I've ever wanted to do, is ensure their legacies, because I always wanted to leave a legacy behind. Long after my time on Earth was through, I always wanted to be remembered for my contributions to Disney and franchises like Descendants of Zombies. And at that time in my life, when Descendants had first premiered, I had no idea how I would ever have a chance of leaving a legacy behind. But I know that I will go down in history, and I will leave that legacy behind because of all of you, and from the inspiration that I drew from people like Sofia Carson and Cameron Boyce, who were obviously very close. You know, the one thing that I will never ever forget is how Cameron Boyce always wanted to make everybody around him happy. And he always wanted to give everybody a positive image, a positive outlook on life, because he loved having fun. And he not only brought the best out of himself, but he also brought the best out of everybody he worked with. And I can say the same thing about a lot of the girls who made up the cast of Descendants of Zombies. They were so appreciative of all of you, and it was really heartwarming to see the bond, the close-knit bonds that you guys formed with your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. They were always taking the time out of their schedules to get to know you, to let you know what was happening around them through social media posts, and I just felt so honored to experience that and to be a part of that with all of you. Because one of the most difficult things for a content creator on YouTube to do every night is find a niche and become supportive of that niche. And you guys became supportive of how I felt about Descendants of Zombies, because you heard my story for the first time ever and you couldn't help but fall in love with it. And you've been very appreciative of me. There are people who have been subscribed here for a very long time who are very appreciative of these videos, who have obviously seen something special in every video that I've ever recorded. And there are even new people who are just relatively new here to this YouTube channel, kind of coming into this YouTube channel, who are very supportive of these videos, because they've obviously taken something special away from these videos each time that they've watched them. If you're somebody who's been here for a very long time, or somebody who's relatively new, it is my honor to meet all of you, and it is my honor to become a part of your lives and to have been a part of the Descendants of Zombie soundtracks for forever, because the one thing, I'll let you in a little secret, the one thing I've always wanted to secure were the legacies of your favorite stars, both past and present, and to make sure that they would never ever be forgotten, to keep these franchises alive. Now, I may have never known how I was going to keep these franchises alive, but I do it because I know that's what you guys want, and I know that's what Cameron Boyce would have always wanted. The legacies of people like Dove Cameron, Sofia Carson, even Kylie Cantrell, and Malia Baker to live on for forever, to really live on for eternity. And we can make that happen because of the love and support that we've shown for them. I will never forget the day that I heard about Cameron Boyce's passing. He died because of complications with epilepsy. That's an awful disease and an awful circumstance to have to deal with. But I will never ever forget how people felt on that day. People felt really lost, and they were taking to social media, making posts of their own, making Cameron Boyce tributes, and then Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson were using their social accounts to reach out to all of you to let you know how they were feeling and what they were going through. The pain was insurmountable and truly undescribable, and the one thing I always wanted to do was be there for them. And I couldn't be because I had some things happening in my own life that were out of my control. But the one thing I kept thinking about was what they were going through, thinking about them, and how I could help the situation and really help everybody. Because I wanted everybody to know during that time, that very difficult time in all of our lives, that everything was going to be okay. And people like Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson were going to live vicariously through the reputation that Cameron Boyce had left behind. Live through the stories that they have about Cameron Boyce and all the wonderful memories they created, and live through his legacy. I think it's so incredible how people like Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson always honor him and be a part of the Cameron Boyce Foundation that his parents set up every year, making their own contributions and donations, making people aware of how much of an impact he had on their lives. But it wasn't just their lives he had an impact on. He had an impact on cast members of Jesse and Bunked. I know he was very close with Peyton List. Every girl that he ever worked with, I think, had the biggest crush in the world on him, and he was a really good-looking guy, and it wasn't very hard to find out why everybody loved him so much, and why everybody went on to love this YouTube channel so much, for the respect that I've always had for Cameron Boyce. Now, many of you have known over the years, I've never really been the biggest fan of some of the guys on Disney Channel. These Disney Channel guys of this new generation, I could often never make sense of them, and I was very vocal about them on times. But one guy I took exception to, and I made an exception for a lot of the time, was Cameron Boyce, because I saw something special in his heart. Because for every human being, there's a heart within them. Even though sometimes it's very difficult to notice, there's a heart within everybody, and he has one of the biggest hearts that I've ever seen in my life for just how much he thinks of his friends and how much he values his friendship and really values all of you, because you guys were felt to be made a part of something because of him. You felt a part of something so special. You felt a part of Descendants because of him. He was always posting videos on social media of himself going through haunted mansions on Halloween and sharing funny stories with you guys, and oftentimes posting funny videos of him and his friends. And you guys loved it so much that you gave him 15,000 likes for every video that he posted. I know because I used to follow him. And I remember being very appreciative of who Cameron Boyce was as a person. And I remember being so appreciative of how Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson thought the world of him. And on a day like today, when we're celebrating Sofia Carson's 33rd birthday, I think that remembering Cameron Boyce would be something she would want us all to do, because Cameron Boyce has always held a very special place in her heart. I will never ever forget that emotional tribute that both Dove Cameron and Sofia Carson put together for Cameron Boyce. They wanted him to know that they would never ever forget him for the impact that he had on their lives, because they are the superstars they are today. They have become the superstars they have become today and became stronger because of how much Cameron Boyce meant to them, and how much of a role he played in their stardom, and how much of a role he played in their lives. I think that Cameron Boyce was so relatable because no matter who we are, we all have that one special friend who is forever annoying, who's always calling us just to check on us, to see what we're going through, to find out how they can help, probably inviting us over for a sleepover, or over to their house to play video games with them, or to, take a look at our Descendants of Zombies merch and compare it, and our Descendants of Zombies doll collection. There's always that one friend who never leaves our side, who is always there for us. And that's really beautiful about life, when you can have that connection with somebody and forever and always cherish it, and find time in supporting the friendships that you have. That's what makes life worth living, and that's what makes life so worth it. And I know this firsthand because, I've often said that I never have the chance to see a lot of kind people in this lifetime or experience kindness. But I found out that fans of Descendants of Zombies were incredibly supportive of each other, and they would go on to become so incredibly supportive of me. I never imagined that the love and support that I would receive for every video that I would ever go on to create would be so phenomenal and truly blow my mind, but it has. And it's blown my mind in so many unbelievable ways that have truly been undescribable for me. And all I've ever wanted to do, all I can tell you guys, is that I've just always wanted to be a part of something so special with all of you, and to bring these stories to life. These stories that were first told to us by these beautiful characters that we never imagined would have went on to become something so phenomenal, but they did. And why do you think that was? Because all of us believed in them with all of our heart and soul. And because we believed in them with all of our heart and soul, that's what made this whole experience of being a fan of Descendants of Zombies so worth it. I know that there are people out there who have such a special place in their heart for every video that I've ever created. And I never imagined that these videos would have went on to be so well received, but they were. I don't know if it had anything to do with how I told the story of these characters and how I believed in it with all of my heart and believed in it with all of my heart and soul, but you guys obviously saw something special in my videos and took something special away from them every single time. Because the one thing I promised you was that I was not only going to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies for how I've described it as the rest of my life, but I also promised you that the legacies of people such as Cameron Boyce and Sofia, Carson, and even Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker would live on eternally. Because that's what they've always deserved. To have their legacies live on eternally and to be a part of something special, because that's all they ever wanted to experience and to be a part of with all of you, is to have the chance to experience something so special. And I've had so much fun honoring that. I never imagined that this YouTube channel would have went on to become everybody's favorite, but it has. And I like to believe that it will continue to be everybody's favorite for some time to come because of how I've told this story. Because when I really think about it, nobody can really tell the story of Descendants of Zombies like I've been able to tell it. Nobody's been able to bring these stories to life. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, I'm always thinking about you guys, new ways to tell this story, and a different way of bringing this YouTube channel to life. That's why you see all the stuffies in the background. That's why you see all these posters, all this wall art. Because I've had so much fun. There's even a Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse salt shaker there somewhere in the background that you guys probably can't see, but there is a Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse salt shaker as a part of these videos that are featured in them. You might have to look really hard to see them, but they're there, the Mickey Mouse hats and stuff. I have so much fun bringing these videos to life because there's always a new way. No matter how many times you tell the same story over and over again, there's always a new way of bringing your videos to life and telling these stories very differently. And I've really had the time of my life bringing these stories to life in so many new ways, because the only hope that I've ever had is that some way or somehow I was going to touch the heart of every fan of Descendants of Zombies. I never imagined that these videos would have went on to become so popular, and this YouTube channel would have seen over 4,000 people having subscribed here, with over 127,000 channel views, approaching the 130,000 channel view milestone. But it happened because of all of you. This never happened because I decided to upload videos of Descendants of Zombies one day at random. This happened because you guys saw something special in everything that I created, and you became a part of it. You always found time in hitting my like button. You always found time in hitting my subscribe button for days like today, when we once again celebrate the birthday of Sofia Carson, which I hope was a wonderful one, by the way, because I had the chance to share in it with all of you. Now, coming up tomorrow, you guys will see some new wall art that I purchased. You guys will see some new stuffies, and I hope you will join me to see what this YouTube channel brings forth as we make our way into the future. Because as much as we want to hold on to the past, we have to move on forward into the future and see what the future has in store, because oftentimes we never know what the future has in store, but that's what makes the future so exciting. You know, we can choose to hold on to the past and the memories that we created in that past, but moving forward into the future is something to be really excited about, because people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker are becoming stronger all the time. People like Ruby Rose Turner deserve to have their stories told and shared with all of you more than ever. And I'm just really excited to be a part of futures that involve Descendants 5, that are going to be all about Zombies 5 in 2026 and 2027, the 2 summers back to back. Also this summer we have Camp Rock 3 coming out, and we have something to be really excited about, a lot of things to be really excited about. And I'm just excited to review these stories and to be a part of them with all of you. I may be suffering from an itchy nose every night, but it's also allowed me to bring these videos to life. And again, I do apologize for that. I've really had the time of my life celebrating birthdays such as Dove Cameron's and Sofia Carson's and honoring stars of both the past and the present that have everything to do with these franchises. And I felt more than honored to share in my story and to be a part of yours. Whoever you are, from wherever you're watching this video tonight, the one thing that I've always wanted you to take away from these videos, even though sometimes these Descendants of Zombies fan sites or these Descendants of Zombies videos have never really made a whole lot of sense to you, that you probably watched ever before you ever discovered this YouTube channel. I want to say I'm sorry that you've been subjected to a lot of things that these creators have subjected you to with their theories and their predictions about Descendants of Zombies, and hopefully this YouTube channel has kind of pointed you in the right direction and has given you something to believe in more than ever before, because that's always what you forever and always deserve to be a part of, is something so special. And I felt more than honored to be a part of that with all of you. If I couldn't tell this story to you in a better way, in a more phenomenal way, then nobody was ever going to be able to do it the way that I've had the chance to. Sharing with you my thoughts on Alice in Wonderland and how I thought Alice was a beautiful person. Sharing my thoughts with you on Beauty and the Beast and how I thought Belle went the distance because of her beauty and also her intelligence, because she was so kind. There are so many wonderful stories that I've shared with you through being a Disney fan, and I've had the honor of being a part of it and sharing in it with all of you. Thank you so much for believing in this YouTube channel with all of your heart. Thank you so much for taking a chance on me and this YouTube channel when you probably never had to. And thank you so much for always staying with me, because I know for a fact there are people who have been subscribed here from the very beginning, from the very first video that was ever uploaded here. And some people who are still new here to this YouTube channel, discovering the power of Descendants of Zombies and their place within history that has everything to do with this Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel and the franchise that they've known and loved. Because Descendants of Zombies, for a lot of people, are the only thing that they've ever known and loved. But that's what makes life so special, is that you have the chance to be a part of events like the Worlds Collide Tour, which never happened before but are happening now. And looking ahead to September 2026, the fall of this year, it's going to be something for us all to be excited about and to be a part of. And I'm so excited to share in these memories with all of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and thank you so much for being a part of this weekend with me. This is going to be a really cool weekend, and I invite you to join me for even more video content that will be uploaded over the coming days. If you have not subscribed here, I would strongly recommend that you do subscribe here to this YouTube channel and follow along with these conversations. Because if I can't give you something to believe in, then probably nobody ever is going to give you something to believe in. But I think that if you are somebody who believes in Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, then this could be the YouTube channel for you. Whoever you are, from wherever you're watching this video tonight, or from wherever you hear my voice, just know that you will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, as too will your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters, as I've loved honoring them and being a part of their stories, with all of you being a part of mine. Thank you so much for once again having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and for watching these videos. It's always and forever been my honor. Hey guys, check it out! You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube! Oh,